Once again, we are playing a Legacy Constructed League with, as always, the Epic Storm. So, if you watched my last video, we're trying something a little bit new. We're trying Mox Opal. My last list had 4 and no copies of Rite of Flame. This is a hybrid between the two. I've probably played 15 leagues somewhere in the last few days. And I've got a lot of testing in. I think I want to try a list with Rite of Flame, so I found that maybe we had a little bit too much protection in our deck. I tried going back to 14 lands. 14 lands and 4 opals was a lot. I didn't really like 2 empties. I tried 2 main deck empties because we had 4 opals, so this is just something else we're going to try. I've been trying a lot of things, trying to find a list that works with Mox Opal. Mox Opal's been very, very good. I'm pretty excited about it. So this list is back to 7 interaction, we'll call it, spells between Hope of Gearper and Thoughtseize, with Duress on the board, which Burning Wish then becomes a disruption spell where it wasn't before. Diminish Your Returns has been very good. I'm probably using it more than I've been using Past in Flames, so I've been happy with that. You'll notice there's a Rite of Flame in the sideboard now, so now you can Burning Wish for Rite of Flame. Traditionally, it's been better to play all 4 in the main deck, but we're really, really cramped on space, so we're going to try 1 on the board, that way you can Burning Wish for it. And against non-blue decks, you can board it in just to be a faster deck. So, sorry. We're going to try this out, see how it goes. As you can see, my last league, I went 3-2, which is not the greatest. But I started that league after 1 a.m., so I find that I don't play well once I get that deep into the night. I just couldn't sleep and wanted to jam some games with Mox Opal. This is the most fun I've had playing TES in quite some time. I will try to update our record. This time I realized on my last video I forgot to update our record the entire time, so try to be a little bit better about that. Alright, so we won the die roll and we were facing Squirrel Wrangler. After my last video, I immediately 5-0'd the next league, so that was kind of cool. In that process, I had an ad nauseam where I drew 39 cards. Sounds fairly solid. But 39 cards is the most I've ever drawn off an ad nauseam, so that was pretty sweet. I think we want these. I chose to draw Badlands over the fetch because if I just want to cast a Burning Wish on turn 2, I want to keep the fetch for the Brainstorm. So it also gives us maximum Brainstorm potential if we play a turn 2 Burning Wish and then a turn 3 Brainstorm. I don't know any deck that plays Razor Ridge Thicket. But this is usually a sign of Thalia. Okay, so I think we're going to cast Brainstorm here. We know the top card of our deck is a fetch land. It could be really bad for us if we preemptively get Massacre and then they just don't play up Plains. But I don't have a whole lot of faith in this Brainstorm giving us what we need to do anything. Because we know the top card of our deck's a land, so the next two would have to be like Lotus Petal LED. Yeah, alright. Maybe I'll just get Grape Shot here. Because this way, if they do play a Thalia, we can always just hard cast the Grape Shot for 1. So Massacre would not have been good in this exact situation. Oh, they might be on just Legacy Humans. I imagine this will name Grape Shot. Alright, so probably putting Grape Shot back with this Brainstorm. Wow, it would have hit LED Petal. How about that? It's probably wrong to put the Grape Shot back in the deck now that I've actually already done it, because it's just a 2 damage to ad nauseum instead of another land. Hold control. We're going to keep this Lotus Petal around. And why we're doing that is Metalcraft. It's a pretty good start. Have we revealed empty yet? We have not revealed empty, so I'm going to stop. It was fun, though. The casual draw 30 off of an ad nauseum. Pretty good. The game in which I drew 39, I had discarded Empty the Warren, so I knew that I didn't have it in my deck, which was pretty nice. Well, at least we didn't reveal the Grape Shot when it could have been a land. I guess I have that going for me. If we really, really wanted to show off right there, what we could use Burning Wish for Massacre, and then Infernal Tutor for the Grape Shot and Grape Shot them. But we beat humans. At least game 1. So you may find this shocking, but we're definitely boarding out Hope of Ghirapur against humans. Not really what we want to be doing. And income that will come that Rite of Flame. We also want the Chain of Vapors. And then we want these. Alright, so we have to take out 3 cards. I think it's probably going to be these Ponders. Or maybe 2 Ponder and a Thoughtseize. Let's do this. I try different things all the time. That's why I don't get too caught up in sideboard guides. I feel like people are a little uptight about that sort of stuff. And hot damn, this is a good hand. We should be fine as long as they don't play a Chalice of the Void on 0. Oh, Max Opal, how great you are. Anyone has any trash they would like to talk about Max Opal, they can shove it, because it's phenomenal. We're just going to dunk this empty. And our opponent's conceded. That was a pretty easy 1-0. You see that, Eddie Zamora? Humans is trash. I don't actually think that, but for Eddie's purposes, humans sucks. For those of you that are unaware, Eddie Zamora is the driving force behind the Legacy 5-color humans list. He's put in a ton of work and really inspired a lot of other people to try it out. So congrats to Eddie. So one of the lists that I was playing, the last list I was playing, I have a 66% win percentage, which isn't bad. It's, you know, slightly better than average. For a while I was running really, really hot, where I was averaging like 68, 70%. This was like 3 months ago though, so recently with like normal stock lists I've been running pretty cold. I think like maybe the meta's adapted to empty the warrens, so maybe jamming a ton of them isn't right. I'm not really sure. I haven't been playing a whole lot up until this Mox Opal testing. Bobber Huang. Bob has been on the 4-color loam deck. I don't know if that's what he's playing today. But this hand's pretty good, so we're going to try this. Hopefully we can find a Burning Wish or a Tutor off this Brainstorm. Not quite what we wanted. We're just going to get a basic swamp with this. Ooh. Blue-red Delver. Classic Moto Shuffle. Next turn we'll draw Hope of Gearper. I think Bob might have drawn another Force of Will. I think that's the reason he's not casting the Portent. I also don't really like Portent in Blue-Red Delver. I think there's enough good cantrips that you can play that you don't have to play something like Portent. And Bob is targeting us with Portent. I think we probably, this is the Volcanic. Alright, so I'm guessing we don't know the last two. Bob did not shuffle. So he put that Brainstorm there. Interesting. So I'm going to cast Brainstorm here, just looking for another Thoughtseize. Is it better to just take the Chromax or Storm? Probably, because then we could just Natural Storm, unless Bob has double Daze. I don't think Bob would have left this on top without having Force, but there's something else we can do. We have to jam, so that's what we're going to do. Wow. Okay, so I don't love Hope of Girper here. I think what I'd rather do is bring in the Rite of Flame, bring in Duress, bring in an empty. I'd rather play something like this. Don't know if this is a keep or not. We're on the draw. And Bob has kept his hand. We're going to mulligan this. I think we could probably do better. This is fairly solid. Turn 1 Portent. I wonder if Bob's playing like Thunderous Wrath, if that's the reason. Bob shuffled off the Portent. So if we can find a empty right here, we can actually turn 1 empty. Tutor also does it. But I'm going to wait until turn 2 so we can Thoughtseize as well. So we could just jam right here and play around Daze. The issue is that we just lose the force and we don't need to take that risk. We're going to start off with this Lion's Eye Diamond. So the real question here is, do we imprint? I think we probably should. Temporal Mastery. That would make sense with the Miracles cards. Ironically enough, I might have gave Bob the inspiration for this deck. We were talking in a chat yesterday, and I mentioned how there's a Miracles card that no one plays, that if Mystical was legal, we would, and it was Temporal Mastery. So we know we have a blank on top of our deck. So we have 2 empties and 4 more discard spells. Empty might not be good enough at this point. I think we might want to just check Bob here. Because next turn, okay, he didn't counter that. Oh, Bob cast Brainstorm, so next turn he's using the Temporal Mastery. So we are dead. So we actually had to go for it there. Alright. Being on the play, I do think I like Hope a little bit more than rather than on the draw. Maybe I like this. Alright, let's try it. Weirdly enough, if Bob forced that, we could still turn one him through that. So we don't need to break our LED here because we can just use Lotus Petal if the Burning Wish resolves. So there's no difference between 14 and 16 goblins, so there's no reason to grab the Burning Wish here, so we're just going to grab the empty. And Bob says GG's. Cool, cool. 2-0. Waiting on our next opponent. according to Goldfish, our opponent plays a lot of Maverick and Death and Taxes. So we'll keep this. Probably would have kept it anyway, but this allows us to turn one empty for about 12. Okay. So it's 4-color loam. Chalice and Zeros is very good against us. Fortunately for us, we can still just combo off next turn. We're just going to make a ton of gobos. Hope that 14 is good enough. I've been told that most lists recently don't play Out's main deck, but that's not been my personal experience, it feels like. I always seem to run into the people with main deck Tabernacle. Or like a one of Pulse or whatever. This looks like a Knight, probably. Oh, a P-Fire. Even better. Got there. Alright, so this isn't really a Hope of Gear per match. We want the chains and the truths. On the draw, I don't actually like to discard spells as much. I feel like I'd almost rather have Ponders. Only because if our opponent isn't dropping Chalice on one, what do they have? Maybe a Green Sun Fatigue, but not even. I think I'd rather just have the Ponders to help my consistency. On the play, I'd much rather have the Thoughtseizes and the Duress. I mean, this is a keep. It could end up being very bad for us, though. Of course we drew Lotus Petal. Alright, so we need to draw a blue land. I guess any land would do because we could empty. Guess I'll get the swamp. Don't really know what's right there. It might have been right to just discard the empty, but I'm not sure how this game's going to play out. Alright, well I'm not going to hold on to 2 Echoing Shoots, so we'll discard one of those. I'm going to discard the empty. I have a bad feeling about making goblins at this point. That's not good. This is probably a Thalia. We'll just discard Rite of Flame. Now we're going to bounce the Chalice. See what we can do. That's an ad nauseam. We're going to put Burning Wish into our deck just to make sure that we don't discard it and get it surgical or anything silly like that. It's kind of interesting. So Storm's currently 1. If we put back a Burning Wish and Chrome Mox, so let's say these 2 are gone. Storm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8's not enough, so we're going to have to ad nauseam. Add a black with this. Pretty good so far. Alright, we're just going to stop. We have a guaranteed kill. We can only ruin that by continuing. I guess we could lose to the surgical I mentioned. However, if we kept on going, we would have had to reveal a Lion's Eye Diamond or something to get Hellbent, so I think it's actually just safer to stop. But hey, we're 3-0. And our matches so far have been Humans, Blue-Red Delver, and 4-color Loam. If you couldn't tell, I'm a pretty huge fan of Mox Opal right now. While we're waiting for our opponent, we'll look at the deck list once again. Here it is. 3 Mox Opals. There's nothing wrong with the other list that I was playing with 4, but I wasn't really liking the flex spots in the deck being the duresses and the empty. It just felt like I had a lot of interaction sometimes, so I just didn't think we needed it all. So we went back to a split with Rite of Flame, with the 4th Rite of Flame in the board. You can Burning Wish for it. You can also side it in to just be a faster deck. More Black Belcher-esque, if you would. We haven't got to use Diminishing Returns yet, so hopefully we do, because it's fucking sweet. But it is what it is. If we use it, we use it, and if we don't, it happens. I had a really, really cool win against Dredge, where I didn't have enough mana to Dark Petition for Ad Nauseam, and Empty the Horns for 14 on the play could beat Dredge, but instead I ended up casting Diminishing Returns floating 2. I believe I floated blue-red. I could be wrong, but I just drew into the kill, and I turn 1 them with Diminishing Returns, which is pretty sweet. First to Thirst. I have played this person before. I want to say they were on Sneak and Show, but I might be lying to myself. Recently, they've been playing Miracles and Ad Nauseam Tendrils. I don't really like this hand against either deck, so I think I'm going to ship this. Certainly could be good against Miracles. I think I'm going to keep. That seems good. I want to hold the Thoughtseize for now. Double Delta tells me Ant. Ooh. See if we can sneak in with this Chrome Mox. We cannot. They did not shuffle. We need all of our artifacts to resolve, which is a little bit awkward. So we're holding the Opal in the land to hide information, because if they thought this was important, they might fetch to try to counter it. And now we're just going to empty them. They drew another Brainstorm, so they're going to counter the original copy with Jace. And then we have to hope they don't find a Terminus. What's nice about the way we set this up is we can actually still cast Infernal Tutor into Ad Nauseam if we were to draw it. So they'll probably have 4 turns because a Swords to Plowshares buys them a turn, and we could just lose to this Mentor. So we really, really want to draw here is an Infernal Tutor, and then them have a 1 on top, and we can kill them without casting any 1s. Land is not what we needed. It's probably not a winning position. Our opponent does have a very good choice of island, though. I will say that about them. Another LED. We're just going to pass. There's no point in attacking here. Wrong choice of Plains Art, though. Invasion John Avon, what are you doing? And we'll block. Save some life points for a potential Ad Nauseam. All these artifacts are not helping. Our opponent is likely just going to club us here for a bunch. Alright, our opponent likely has a force. Even if we were to draw Burning Wish or Tutor, they're halfway through their deck. The odds that they found a force by now are very high, so I'm just going to concede rather than waste another 2 minutes. So we could board in the Rite of Flame and we could board in the Duress. The issue there is what you take out, because we want to keep in hopes. All the acceleration is very good. It helps run your engine. There's really nothing else to do. You could shave a Burning Wish for the Duress, but I actually like keeping the Burning Wish there for extra threat density. We needed some that game. You can always Burning Wish for the Duress itself, so I'm just going to leave things as is. And we'll be on the play for game 2. Alright, so we are on the play. Ugh. You know, I'm feeling a little ballsy. We're gonna go all in on this Brainstorm. I'm not even going to cast Ponder, I'm just going to Brainstorm. That was a little awkward. Probably not winning this one. I was hoping that Brainstorm would find a fetch land and we could fix up our hand. It was not what happened. We're going to draw through this Brainstorm. The old draw go. I think I'm going to hold the Brainstorm. And now we can resolve ours once they cast theirs. Jeez. No land off that or permanent mana source is really rough. I think we need to shuffle this. The volcanic island doesn't actually help us. That's okay. They mill the counterbalance off of search. That's very interesting. Hopefully we can get this hope to resolve this turn. Hope resolved. Womp. Alright, so now what we want to do is draw a black source so we can Thoughtseize into ad nauseam. So they just have nothing. Alright, so they're all in on this search. I don't understand why they're not casting the counterbalances. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Because now they have to find force off this. I mean, it could happen, but just playing counterbalance seems so much safer. The revealed brainstorm. All right, we'll stop there. We get an undeserving game 3. There's no way we should have won that game. I think I'm going to try this. So if we draw the dress, it was a Burning Wish. Fire off the thoughts. He's trying to stop a counterbalance from coming down. Land here would be nice. We did not hit one. So we'll Thoughtseize again. Taking the predict because they could predict in their upkeep. They kept the card with the search. I think I'm going to shuffle those. I don't want it stopping us from getting Hellbent. Hopefully the card they kept was not Brainstorm. Binning a Force of Will, that's good news. They did not shuffle. So we're looking for like a Dark Ritual or an LED here. Empty's okay. But we'd prefer to just kill them if possible. So if we put back empty and the Thoughtseize, we can empty for a bunch and they can't cast any spells on their turn. I think that's the best we can do. For now, this could have been a Burning Wish, but we don't have Past in Flames, so that wouldn't have been anything too spectacular. But I guess maybe we could have Burning Wish for Red Flame, which would have made a red. And that might have been good enough. All in on the empty. And they kept the card off the search. See if we can find a discard spell with this. It's pretty good. I would expect them to force here. Alright, take the snap. I think they probably should have forced that. Sweet, 4-0. Once again, playing for a 5-0 with a Mox Opal list. How exciting is that? Beating a variety of decks. Humans, Blue-Red Delver, 4-color Lumen Miracles. Just winning a player 5th match. Who's it gonna be? I don't know who this is. But we get to be on the play. It's pretty good. Unlike this hand is not pretty good. Keep. And we're just going to pass. Dredge. We're probably just dead here. I guess we could hope for no dredgers or faithless looting. Well, there's a stinkweed. Alright, so we're hoping to draw a Dark Ritual or an LED here. I guess we would take a land, so that way we can cast Ponder too. Rite of Flame does not do it. Alright, we're going to cast Ponder. I think we need to shuffle this. Alright, we're going to hope that nothing bad happens. And then we draw incredibly well. Weird. They definitely should have done that on their turn. It's not good. Our opponent's taking their time. I'm just going to concede. We're not winning this. Something like that. Empty's not great in this matchup, but I think if you're on the play and can do it turn one for a bunch, it's All right. Okay, so we are on the play. So if this was an Echoing Truth, would this hand be any better? Probably not. Is this a keep? So we could turn 1 Thoughtseize and return 2 8 goblins. I don't know if that wins, even if everything goes well. So we're going to ship. This has potential. So we're just going to play out our entire hand and hope to draw Infernal Tutor or Burning Wish. If we draw like a Ponder or Brainstorm, I might just go all in. Okay, that's the Silent Gravestone. We need a good draw. Come on, Duck. Don't let me down. Trying to 5-0 here. The looting for them is pretty good. Alright, so ad nauseum from here would not be an easy win, but it'd certainly be doable. And with the bridge from below, our opponent can represent lethal next turn. So this is it. It's this draw or nothing. Okay, so that's 4, 6, 8, and then an Icarid. I mean, they can also just make more power, but they already had lethal. They don't really need to cast the Cabal Therapy. It doesn't hurt them to do so, so there's no reason why they wouldn't. But they didn't need to. Alright, moment of truth. Chromox is not going to do it. So we went 4-1. Not bad. Not bad at all.